the call just to kind of like remind people about praise and things like this. And honestly, I was looking at it the other day, and it was really nice to be able to go in and like see the praise that I had received and to find out kind of like what it was that my actions that I was taking that the other community members were like finding valuable and like that. And so I'm curious, is it only quantifiers that can access the dashboard, or can anybody access the dashboard and look at their praise?
I'm not 100% sure. I would have to check that, but I think anybody can access the dashboard and check the periods and stuff. Like maybe they won't get like full access to all the information, and they won't have like permission to change settings and stuff. But I think
Or
that
like just to see like their praise that they've gotten.
I would have to check. I'll
Okay.
check that. Yeah, because I don't really know if like a person that is not a quantifier, maybe someone from here like Jake. Like, I don't think you're a quantifier, but you have an account. Like maybe you can go in and just like double check that quickly on the praise dashboard. I'll put the link on the chat.
Yeah, so today, instead of just like recruiting people to go put praise in the channel, I would like to just invite you to maybe go check out the praise that you've been getting and find what it is that's valuable that the community is finding in what it is that you do. Because for me, it was really interesting to find like sometimes my to-do list gets busy and my output isn't necessarily what I want it to be. And then I was just reading the praise and stuff, and I'm realizing, not always is my role the value from my role based on output, like people find other things valuable. So it was nice for me to see, and maybe there's something cool in there for you.
So sorry, but we're also gonna like I'm gonna announce today that we're gonna host the first like quant review session where we're gonna like do a review of all the quantification that has been happening last year. So I'm working on with Mateo on writing a script where it's gonna give us like a detailed kind of like cross analysis of all the periods as well. So this Friday, I'm gonna announce it today, but this Friday we're gonna do that. So it's gonna be interesting to come. So I invite everybody also to come to this quant review. So yeah, I think it's gonna be fun, and that's like something that once we get up to date, we will also do per period. So every period is gonna have a review, and we're gonna be able to see kind of like what are the things that are most praised and what is valuable, what is considered valuable to the community, and all those stuff.
Cool. That's really interesting. Awesome. I'm glad that we're kind of all in sync there then. Because, yeah, it's exciting to go in there and you get to like this big overview of like what's happening within the organization.
And I can confirm that looking at this, I can look at received praise, praise given, like all the facts and stats and logs and how many users. And I agree, it's really cool to have it all in one place.
Cool. Nice. That's good to know, because then I can pass that on to other people outside of this call. Okay, so that was kind of the first thing I wanted to touch on. Second thing, announcements before we do the rounds of intentions and distractions, is I won't be available to facilitate this call next week. And so I was wondering if there's somebody here who wanted to maybe facilitate the call next week. Well, think about it. If you feel called, let me know. You don't have to decide right now. So let's go ahead and just like jump into intentions and distractions. How are you feeling? I am feeling much more clear today, rested, and my intentions for this call, I really want to touch base on our manifesto and just pull some issues out of or I guess they're not issues, but topics out of the icebox and take a look at them and see how we can move forward on some of them. My distractions, I'm starting to feel a little hungry, but that's not so bad. And I will pass it over to Claire.
Hi everyone, thanks Ashley. Today I'm feeling okay. My intention today is to, if we can, continue the Communitas Manifesto discussion that we talked about yesterday in GPS. And I don't have any distractions at the moment, but I will be finishing off a few bits and pieces towards the end of the call. And I'll pass it over to Almond.
Thank you, Claire. I'm feeling a little bit sore after workout yesterday, but everything's cool. My intention for the call is to talk about some details of the upcoming events and no distractions. And I'll pass it to Nicola.
Yo, find the right window. Hi, guys. I am feeling little heart aching, but good. And my intentions for the call is to sync up with you guys, see how we can discuss more about the GPS session. I just sneaked in one more agenda items, just created a retrospective meet makers doodle. I would like to see who can come. So if you're interested and if you have any feedback, they're going to be linked. And that's it. No distractions. Ready for you guys. I'm going to pass it to Cory.
Hi, I'm feeling okay. I have a bit of a sore throat, which is not great. I hope there's not more coming. I wanted to just be clear on any upcoming Twitter spaces. I know we've got some stuff planned for next week. And otherwise, just distracted by a guy who just appeared outside my window on the 6th floor hanging. I think he's cleaning, I'm not sure, but yeah, that just happened. So, but otherwise, I'm here. I will pass it to Kotabe.
Kotabe, are you there? Can you hear us?
I can. It was just taking some time on my laptop. JM, everyone. I'm feeling good. My intentions for the call is to talk a little bit about the Solar Punk Guild workshop, and then sync up with everything else. And distractions, organizing my tabs. That's it. I'll pass it to, let's see, Franco.
Thank you, Kotabe. I'm feeling good today. A little bit stressed about Valentine's Day, but other than that, I'm good. Intentions for the call: just catching up with everyone and see what's going on. And distractions, I'm just doing some praise stuff on the background, but nothing else. And I'll pass it to Jake the Snake.
Franco, happy Valentine's Day. I hope that's enough for you. Don't be stressed. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody on the call. I'm feeling loved. Had a great Valentine's Day. Intentions for the call: listen in, see where I can add some input. Distractions: I am shilling pretty hard the Turkish matching pool, so doing that in the background. So I might get distracted. And I believe I'm the last one, so I'll push it back to you, Ash.
Thanks, Jake. Thanks, everybody. Looks like we have everything on the agenda except for maybe this workshop thing. So let's take a look at our events. We've got the education one coming up on the 15th. That's confirmed. Tell your friends, come join us. It's going to be Urbanica, Bankless, and another one. I can't think of it right now. Almond, is there anything that we should know about this coming up other than just to share and join?
Sure. The other one is Token Engineering Academy, and actually, I was going to ask. Well, Cory, I asked if you could facilitate tomorrow. Well, actually, it was Lauren that proposed you to facilitate tomorrow, but please let me know if you're feeling okay. Just that we can prepare to do that, because I just heard that you were not feeling very good. So just let me know about that. But yeah, it's confirmed tomorrow, 9 a.m. CST, 4 p.m. CET.
Almond, could you just make sure to send me an invite for this, because I didn't have that on my calendar. And I was sorry, my throat. I was just used to having that. But yeah, I will let you know. I'm gonna drink a lot of tea today and see how my throat is in the like by the end of the day.
Yeah, no worries. We can figure it out. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. All right. It's nice to get these going again. I'm excited for them to pick back up. It seems like they're pretty popular, actually. We were looking at the YouTube, and the view, like, people are watching them on our YouTube after the fact. Another Twitter space, ETH Denver. Yeah, for the 21st. Confirmed 100. So what's the best way for us to collaborate? Do we need to maybe we should bring this up in the comms call? Is there already like tweets drafted and stuff, or?
Yeah, thank you for asking. Yes, as Lauren is off this week, I already sent her the tweets for next ETH Denver Twitter space, so they're coming out slowly this week. So if you catch them, please, share, retweet, comment, and as Ashley was saying, maybe if you can also share for the people that is interested, we have now our Twitter spaces posted on our YouTube channel and in Spotify too. These are called Give Talks. So basically, it's a Twitter space that then was uploaded to YouTube and Spotify. So you can catch them there and share them if you found someone that might be interested. So yeah.
Okay, let's Give Power workshop. Have we had anybody register yet? Have we looked?
I was going to ping you yesterday because I lost the Eventbrite password, so I
Oh no.
I wasn't
Okay.
able to enter yesterday. But yeah, I was going to ask you for help regarding that, and I'm going to start inviting people to the Give Power workshop next week. This is a super important one. We are trying to gather Give Power users so far that have been able to test and to use the product for us to see what do they think, if it's actually working, what could we improve. This is going to be facilitated by Lauren. So yeah, this is kind of a challenge just to be able to have people coming. So if you are a Give Power user, please come. It would be great to have and count with your support and share feedback of how could we improve Give Power.
And I guess let's take a look and see if anybody's registered afterward. If nobody has registered, or I mean, we're still gonna have it either way, right? Even if nobody registers, or?
Yeah, we're going to
Okay.
have it anyways, and I don't think that someone has registered yet because I haven't actually moved the event. So I'll really push this week to try to have as many people as possible.
Yeah, I can help with that too.
Yay.
And then it looks like our Giveth Essentials session is on the calendar, so confirmed for the 22nd at 9 a.m.
Yeah, I was going to actually just put over the table the Give It Essentials, because next week we have the Twitter space, we have the Give Power workshop on Monday, we have this FAQ interview, and then another one just was proposed for Thursday. So and then we're preparing for ETH Denver. So I was just thinking if just for the sake of all the events and the team, can we move after ETH Denver just to have more mind space to facilitate and just put all of our attention to this session. But what do you think?
I mean, I'm also okay with that because it's also, I know a lot of people are preparing to travel next week. So I mean, it's like, I don't know, I know people only have so much time to attend so many additional events per week on top of like their regular calls and stuff. So I don't know if it's not going to make a huge difference either way. So I would be fine with moving it to after Denver.
Yeah, just because these two things of this new Twitter space just was confirmed yesterday, and then the other interview too. So it's like, oh, too much.
Yeah, that is a lot. Well, I'm looking at the calendar here, and it looks like probably the next time then after ETH Denver would be like March 14th. Does that seem like a good day to shoot for then?
March. Oh yeah, for me that would be nice. Just after maybe the comms call, if Corey is okay with it. Yeah, she's saying that's okay. Woo.
All right, let's shoot for the 14th then. And yeah, there's a lot of things going on, and with ETH Denver and everything, it's totally understandable. All right, so this bankless interview, is there a date set?
Yes, it's with, well, his Twitter, it says FAK, I don't know how to pronounce it. He's a bankless collaborator, but I believe this is something that he does as a personal project. So yeah, this is actually scheduled for next Monday at 9 a.m., which unfortunately is the time for our governance call. It's the guy. I asked Kotave for help so we can maybe jump in. But yeah, this is confirmed for next Monday, 9 a.m. CST, 4 p.m. CET.
Cool. Well, we got that on here. Yeah, that's probably not a lot of people will be able to make it because of the governance call, but
Yeah.
I'll just put his Twitter here so that in case anybody, oops, that's not what I meant to do, Notion. Okay, oops. And then the Aprendamos launch. I remember we were talking about having it be before ETH Denver. It seemed like it'd be really valuable to have it launch before ETH Denver and before Flea. Does that seem still doable, or is that still the plan?
I'm trying. My main concern, I just talked to Rodri last week for him to help us create an image and a design for Aprendamos Refi, but he's saying that he is really like into a lot of things right now, so for him it has been kind of hard. So my plan is still to try to go out with the first episode before Flea and December. Hopefully we can make it, but yeah, Rodri, it seems like he has way a lot of stuff right now.
Okay, let's just play it by ear. I think if we can, it's not, it's not number one priority for a designer. So if it happens, that'd be great, and we'll make sure we can put it on like the landing page. But if not, let's not like, stress about it too much. All right, and then it looks like this is what Nicola was talking about, the Meet the Makers retrospective. So if you guys are interested in being a part of this, like, let's fill out this doodle for those of you who came, and we'll get that scheduled. Did you want to say anything else about it, Nicola?
No, that's all. But like just yeah, I'm carrying as more feedback, as much feedback as we can get, the better. This time I asked the project. I definitely want to hear from the community. It was very different from what we normally do. So yeah, really looking to collect as much feedback as possible. So please, yeah, look at the doodle, and if you can participate but still have some feedback, just let me know, and I'll make sure that there is a document that you can input that. Thanks. That's all.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited to hear like what the projects had to say because it was a completely different format. Well, that looks like all of our like kind of like scheduled or events that we'd already been talking about. Am I missing anything on this schedule?
Yes, just one more. Corey connected me to this girl called Susie Kavanaugh. Sorry, I'm not pronouncing it the right way, but she hosts something called Web3 Thursdays, and she wants to invite someone from Giveth to talk about Giveth, and then I propose that we might also talk about the Turkey quadratic fund that we are working at right now. So that would be scheduled for next Thursday 23 at 10 a.m. CST, meaning 1 hour before our Ethember sync. So the idea would be, just to talk about Giveth, the generals, and then to talk about our efforts related to Turkey and which projects are available for people to support and the quadratic funding. So I will just maybe reach out to some people of the team and see if they want to participate and jump in and talk about this. I don't know who would be the best person to talk about the Turkey effort. I think that, I don't know, Corey or Lauren but yeah, that's scheduled for the 23rd.
That's interesting because I think she just wants to have Giveth, or because there's a lot of communities that are collaborating on Turkey efforts, so maybe with the matching pool, like because we're collaborating with Gitcoin, so maybe it's Giveth and Gitcoin or something. Just an idea, I don't know.
Yeah, she's open to have other project owners, not necessarily only Giveth. So she told me that the space would be divided into parts. The first one dedicated to Giveth and to talk about the DAO, and the other half of the Twitter space would be dedicated to Turkey. So we can have other representatives of the projects. I know that you had contact with some of them for the last community call, so maybe it would be great if you could help me like reach out or contact for them to jump into. But yeah.
Cool. Well, that's an awesome opportunity. And you said it's the 23rd, right?
The
I got that right?
23rd. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. We still have some time, but yeah, let's combine some efforts on that and see what we can do. And then there was this other event that has been talked about, like kind of some discussion about how Giveth and PeopleDAO could collaborate. There's a Discord thread. The link is here in the agenda. So Rohek reached out to me to see if we could collaborate somehow. PeopleDAO, they have quite a big following on Twitter, so maybe we do a Twitter space on their channel. I know you were talking with them a little bit about it, Almin. What kind of ideas were you guys coming up with?
Yeah, so Rohek was saying that we should organize an AMA at Grief's podcast. I was honest with him and told him that we really don't do that. But that a good start would be for them to come to the community spotlight for this week. So they're coming Thursday to talk about their project and also school, because Griff facilitated that call, so he'll be able to listen about PeopleDAO, and I think that that's like a good start to see what else we can do.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that sounds great. And we can learn kind of more about what PeopleDAO is doing and how we can be strategic together. And then maybe other people in the community would want to get involved as well. So that's cool. Okay. Am I missing any other events on the horizon or anything that I'm unaware of out there?
Yeah, just on the topic of trying out the workshop, we said that we'll have one with the Solarpunk Guild. Initially, it was scheduled for February 10th, but I reached out to the Solarpunk Guild last week, and we're still finding the best time. They have suggested to do it on next Monday on their Discord. Basically, for those who don't know, the Solarpunk Guild are about 30 of the 80 or so projects that are on the climate change round on Gitcoin usually. So we are always trying to find the best way to onboard projects that are on Gitcoin to Giveth, and I think this is going to be a good way. We are going to do on the Solarpunk Guild some one-on-one outreach to try to make sure to have as much people as possible coming to this Discord call, and then just try to answer all the questions that they might have about being onboarded to Giveth and benefits and differences with Gitcoin and so on and so forth.
It's not really like a practice workshop anymore as it was kind of initially planned. Is that what I'm picking up on?
I think that it can have both elements. On the first part, just talking a little bit about why Giveth, why should you onboard your project in Giveth, and what it's different from fundraising on Giveth than on other parts of Web3. And on the second part, more hands-in workshop. And I can send them kind of like these templates so that they have it filled, and then they can onboard their project at the call. I think that would be nice.
So this is mirroring the workshop that you're planning to do at Flea, or it's no longer connected?
The workshop at Flea is still it turned into a panel. So that one is not going to be so demonstrative anymore. And that was the intention initially, was to onboard projects at Flea. But when that workshop will be on a place that had no internet, that sort of like fell through the cracks. And then the best next option was move it one day before, where we will have internet and at least demonstrate the app.
Okay. And do you have a date in mind for when you guys are going to do this event?
Humberto reached out to me and he said next Monday. And he's just confirming because the first time that he said was 10 a.m. and I have 10 a.m. Central Time. It's the time of the fundraising call. So trying to push it 1 or 2 hours later, but we'll see.
And I guess what is the best way that the community could support you?
Well, if there are any specific ideas, always welcome them. Other than that, we just need for them to decide the specific time, and that's it. If someone else wants to join, I think it can be good, and open for any other ideas.
And where do you plan to have it?
On the Solarpunk Guild Discord channel.
Discord? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I have one idea. Well, one thing that we discussed about with people from the Solarpunk Guild, there might be some people that won't be able to attend it live, and they would like to have it recorded. And so we were I asked Frank about it, and he said he uses OBS. If it's at a good time, one thing that the community can support it is help us record it and then have it available for people in the Solarpunk Guild and maybe other projects. Cool.
Yeah, I think that should be pretty easy. What do you think, Franco?
Yeah, I can do it. I can stream it. Should we stream it from Giveth YouTube channel, or do you want me just to record it?
Maybe just record it. I don't know. What do you think, Kotabe? Where would be the best place to host this? Like on the Giveth Transparency channel, maybe?
I'm not sure. I think that's
record it and have it available. We could like just record it as a video and just have it available to use. It wouldn't be live streamed though.
yeah, maybe that can be good. Just record it, and then we can see where it makes more sense to have it, because I think at some point it can be on the transparency channel, but it can also be more on the closer to where the donors 101 and projects 101 videos are, because it's more kind of like an onboarding. It might be an onboarding document video.
Yeah, I think it could definitely be used as a resource. If we're gonna facilitate it, we might as well record it.
That's the Donor 101 and the Project Owner 101. They are on the Giveth channel, the main one, not Transparency. So I could stream it there, and we can already like have it there available, or like I can record it and then upload it. So it's up to you to decide. I can do both.
Okay. I know, Ashley, you were going to say something.
I was just gonna say I think it can be downloaded even after it was live streamed. So even if we live stream it and then say the Solarpunk Guild wanted to use the video for some sort of other resource, or we wanted to have it on another platform, we could easily, I think, download it from the YouTube. So maybe streaming is the best way, and if we get some attention on the live stream, then maybe other people will join. I'm not sure.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Well, we will stay tuned for more details and a confirmed time. Okay.
Is there, once that I have the time confirmed, do you want me to reach out to you, Ashley, or should I paste it somewhere? Just on the community channel?
Sure, or maybe just create a calendar invite. If you just make the invite and invite giveth.io@gmail.com, it will automatically add it to the Giveth calendar. If you feel comfortable doing that, or if you reach out to me, I could help as well. I could at least help get it in the Discord for sure.
Okay, so invite, like make an invite and then invite giveth.io@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And it will add it to the Giveth calendar.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. No problem. Let's see. So this brings us to the next topic that we kind of wanted to spend some time in this call talking about. And we had a GPS session yesterday with Kotabe, just kind of like basically trying to pick back up where we left off and realizing that it's not as easy as we thought, and maybe we need to kind of like take a few steps back to see where we were, because like a lot of time has passed. And just kind of looking at some higher level GPSs in that session. Unfortunately, I tried to record it and I don't know what happened. I tried to stream it, and when I went to look for it, I don't see it there. So I think maybe I tried to stream it incorrectly, or I didn't get the recording. I'm sorry. And I did put the notes here though on the session 3, so you can find the notes. And I guess, did you want to maybe like say anything about this, Kotabe? I guess for me, I just wanted to check in quickly with this, and maybe like how can we take that and like the effort that's happening there, and kind of like at least within our working group direct it towards finalizing this manifesto document that's also underneath, so these two kind of go together. But I wanted to like pass it to you and see if you had anything that you wanted to share or say about this to the community.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. So first thing, I came into this session with more questions than answers. So my intention was also to gain a little bit of clarity. I think I should have mentioned that before. So apologies for anyone if I if I didn't say that, and if the session at some point felt stuck or unguided. Second thing, I also in retrospective, I think that and we did mention that before. So Ashley was right about that. I think we should have started small with just with the communities working group part. At least at the end, that's kind of like I think the clarity that I and maybe others gain from that. Just start small with one working group with a few indicators. Really go through the specifics of what will make the working group more successful at what they're trying to do. So really align it to the goals and then start measuring a few things at a time and grow it from there. And so I pretty much agree with you, Ashley. Let's get into the community's manifesto and let's get aligned, and then let's start thinking about just a few indicators to start moving this forward, and then let's iterate on it. That's my take.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if anybody else in the call today was also in the call yesterday and wanted to talk a little bit about this. I know, Claire, you mentioned this in your check-in. Is there something also that you wanted to add?
For me, I agree with what both of you have said, that we could start for things that are relevant in this particular group, things that are relevant for showing things that we need to measure. How do we measure them? How do we show that there's progress being made? What are the measures of success? I was looking in the Communitas manifesto, and towards the end, there are some really good kind of qualitative measures. And I guess it would be quite useful to see how we turn these into numbers that we can record and measure. I'm just going to open the document. Hang on.
Yeah, cool. Well, it seems like we're all kind of on the same page. Let's just start small, jump into our working group, and start to create something here. There is this document. I can show it on my screen. This is something that started as a TEC document because our working group was kind of leveraged from TEC. When it was just me, I was like, okay, what are we going to do here? And so I took we leveraged what the community TOS working group and TEC had already built and what they were working on, and kind of I've adapted it a bit to Giveth and what we need just a little bit. I think that there could be a lot more to be said. There could be a little bit more strategy in here. And I mean, even this document says, or this graphic says TEC on it, but when I look at it, it seems very aligned with what we're doing. So I guess the question is if anybody wants to go in and add suggestions or anything like that. This document is available for commenting, and let's see what we can use to create our own document from this. I see in these successes, like there's a lot of stuff that's kind of repeated, so I think it could be cleaned up a bit. It's still a work in progress. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think that the success failure section at the end is a good place to start. And I do think that a lot of these success failure measurements are dependent on getting feedback from the community. So when somebody is onboarded, excuse me, how do we collect the measures of how they feel about their onboarding process? So I think maybe some of it is reliant on putting in some polls at different stages of the onboarding process. I don't think a lot of this data is something that we can pull out from any of our systems at the moment. That's what I'm trying to say.
I agree with that point, and I think feedback is very important for community building and for the community's working group.
Yeah, I agree. I also pulled up here something that we've created when we were doing our circles, like when we were defining our 3 main circles and kind of what the goals of the circles were. So we can take a look here and see kind of our community circle as a whole. Obviously, that includes communitas and communication. So it's going to be kind of amalgamation of both. But we could look at some of these goals here, and already we have defined like a few KPIs about just like, you know, new onboarded contributors. Right here we have amount of feedback received, you know, so like it looks like we've already started some of this. Really what we just need to do is just get it all in one place and get it consolidated and something that we can present. And it would be really nice if we could have a way to do it that other working groups could follow in our footsteps, you know, since this is something that's coming up for all of our community. We can really like lead by example here. And I know it's not going to work for every working group to do it just like we do it, but at least it gives people an idea of where they can start, because it seems that this GPS or KPI topic has been something that we've been focusing on for a while now and haven't really found progress as a whole organization. And I really do find that it's not just our organization, like a lot of decentralized organizations have trouble defining some of these things. So it's not just us, but I think we can work together to kind of figure these out. I would like to maybe hear feedback from you guys, and also maybe like we could define some next steps. I assume we would want to have another session. We only have 15 more minutes in this call, so I don't know that this call is the time to actually go through and define them all the way. But yeah, I'm gonna open it up to anybody else.
Sure. Sorry, go ahead, Gotabe.
No, you go first.
No, I was just going to say that it would be great to get together and define our KPIs as we did with the ambassador program, just like starting with simple KPIs at the beginning. I would say something that is like basic would be people joining our Discord, and for example, the events that we're hosting, the number of people joining, and stats like that. So just defining which objectives are meaningful for the Communitas team. And then maybe that would be like step 1, and then the step 2 would be cool to propose strategies to achieve each of these objectives. And I don't know if this is, no, I don't think that this is part of it. I was going to mention budget, but I don't think that that's part of the equation now. So yeah, maybe it would be nice if we start with low, not really complex numbers and analytics and formulas. And I think it's really easy to get lost in all these like platforms and analytics and things that are more noisy that actually adding value to our objectives. So it would be nice if we can define what we want as communitas and then just work as a team to achieve it, I think. So maybe another session would be cool, just us, the communitas, to start working on the KPIs that we want. And yeah, that's it. Sorry, Kotabe, go ahead.
No, thank you. I pretty much agree with those points. But also another thing that I wanted to add to the table was that I think that for me, some next steps, at least I will do that, is not only wait till the meeting to discuss these things, but review the manifesto, review the circle, the Giveth Community Circle KPIs, and start async, just thinking about what might be missing there, or what is probably not capturing so much valuable attention and it's more sort of noise. So that when we go to the call, we have more defined what we think that is more valuable to start measuring. And I agree. I think strategies go also after defining what should we start measuring and tracking. I think some things might be, I think there will be a lot of valuable things in what in this document modified from the TEC, but maybe something that it's not capturing because the TEC doesn't has like a specific DApp is other things that are more related to the DApp itself. So that will be at least one of the things that I will be trying to focus on when I am reviewing these documents. And my question will be, when we start like drafting these ideas that we have, where will we have this document at the end, Ashley? Should it be the same one that sorry, the I know that started with a C and an O. It was not the covenant, right? The manifesto, sorry. Should it be there at the end? Or what do you think?
Should it be where at the end? I think probably in our Notion here, in the Communitas working group Notion. That seems
right.
logical to me.
So this more GPS document will be apart from the manifesto. It just will be related, but it will be apart, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's in here. It's somewhere in here. It's in here somewhere. Sorry. I'll
And
find the exact link for it. Go ahead.
thanks. I think that a good place to start is to get together and just compile just make sure that we have the manifesto actually aligned and finished, and then picking the KPIs from there. So I would vouch for having maybe a little hack session where maybe the few of us can just make sure that we finalize this and it feels good before we start executing anything. So I think it's the first and most important place to start, in my opinion.
Sorry, and one more thing that I was thinking, I agree with you all that it would be important at some point count with the comms team as well, with Corey and Lauren, because it's sometimes really hard to draw the line between community and communication. Sometimes those are two working groups that correlate and complement in so many ways. So I think that we cannot, well, in my opinion, for sure, maybe I'm wrong, but we will not be able to define these KPIs with help of comms to work together on these. Just thinking, for example, Twitter can be also something that we will use to measure community, but at the end, it's something that's managed by comms, and there are so many lines there that would be important to also discuss. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely a lot of overlap in places where we work together, so it definitely makes sense. And I think that that's kind of the natural progression, right? It's like the working groups define what defines their success, and then we come to like the circles, and then we can define based off the working groups in that circles like what those goals are there, and as a whole organization it kind of like reflects up, right? But I feel like the first step is just getting something down. All right. Well, if nobody has anything else right now on this topic, I will make a doodle and we will set up a little session. I will try to get all the information compiled in one area, and maybe Kotabe, you and I, when we have our sync call this week, we could talk about maybe doing this together going forward. Does that sound good? All right.
That sounds great. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Lost the window.
No worries. I know it's easy to do. I've got lots of tabs too. Okay, let's do that. And then next up, I worked with Vitor. I got our token log updated for project nominations. It is now on version 2. It's working great. Everything's fine. We can actually see the votes from before before, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember right. And let's let it load. So I guess now it's like, what is the flow for this? What's the ideal flow for people nominating projects? Oh no, it looks like the votes are all gone, but the projects are still here. I feel like, Jake, this is kind of your department a little bit. So I'm curious to know like what would be a good flow, or how you would envision something like this working, with people nominating the project and then us outreaching to them and trying to get them on the platform.
So I missed part of that. I got distracted with my shilling. And so you're talking about token log and how best to reach out to some of these projects.
Yeah, just it seems like kind of your department, so I just wanted to maybe hear your thoughts on what you think would be a good flow. I know you've got the CRM going and stuff, so just wanted to
I mean,
check in with you here. I do
I
think it's
can,
valuable.
yeah, I can share kind of how it's worked in the past with the token logs when when I was reaching out to those top voters. Most of them were pretty excited to hear back from us when they heard that they were the highest voted token log. But I would say only a couple of them have actually gone through with it. I still keep in touch with them. Half of them are not ready to onboard onto Giveth. Some of them are ready, but the communication thread is kind of gone non-existent. And then a couple of them have onboarded with us. And then there was one where it was just kind of somebody that was like in favor, was nominating those projects, but had no connection to them. And I've tried to reach out to the actual project and it's gone nowhere. So it's kind of a mixed bag of responses on this. But the flow is still pretty good. I mean, it's worth reaching out, and if we want to try to reach out to all of them or just review them and look at the ones that match our mission and values, traditionally, I would say overall, it's a pretty good response from the outreach on it. So, how I would draw up the flow, how I did it in the past is literally just that. Just looked at the project nomination. We tried to find some point of contact for the project, do outreach, throw it into the CRM, make a note to touch base in a week, and go about the outreach on that. And if I get in touch with them, of course, have a meeting with them and explain the onboarding process, and then direct them to Discord and the project onboarding channel.
Yeah, perfect. And yeah, I think it was working before fine. So I think that we can still continue something really similar to that. And do you think like reaching out to like one per month, or like what kind of like cadence or rhythm do you see it would be doable? I know you're doing a lot with fundraising and a lot of
Yeah,
other
I mean, for me, if I'm championing this, I mean, I can try to do as many as possible per week. Um, but to give like an actual raw number, I don't know if that's the easiest, because it just depends on the week. Like the last couple weeks have been Alpha round, and then this week, unfortunately, is Turkey and Syria, along with the other goals in mind. So I think it falls in line of where's the priority of it, more than like where does it fall in terms of like actually doing the outreach. It's not a problem. It's just what's the other priorities that week.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe we just have a goal to like reach out to 4 projects per month, and whatever week that tends to fall into for you that's the most open, maybe that could be an option.
I think that's a fair number, because even if it falls to 1 week, that's not a whole bunch. And if it's divvied up over a month, that's one a week. That's not a whole bunch either. So even if you were to just make it nice and round at a 5, I think that's pretty fair.
Okay. Well, I also think that right now we don't have any votes in there. So I think the next
Yeah.
steps are going to be like engagement. How do we get people engaging and nominating and voting? And so that I'll bring it up in the community call and try to bring some more eyes to it and get some more people in there voting and stuff. So once we have some more activity, we can actually start some outreach.
Yeah, I noticed there was all zeros on there.
Yeah, I think when it got updated, it reset everything, unfortunately.
Okay. But I do think that it was valuable. And just closing statement is that when the votes were up there and reaching out to those people, overall there was excitement. So I think it's a nice way of getting some new outreach.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think it could be a great tool for comms as well, and making like tweets or if there's any kind of downtime, maybe this is something that we can feature and rally and get people to start nominating stuff.
Yeah, and besides the one that Kai's puts up there, it's usually like non-Web3. So it's fun because it's engaging with people that don't know much about crypto. So it's getting the new subscribers, which is valuable.
Yeah, you get to go nonprofit knocking.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. I think that kind of completes that. We've only got a few minutes left here, so I want to make sure we get down and just kind of like touch on this ambassador program. I know the next steps we have kind of defined already, just to have a small session where we talk about the rewards distribution. There is a thread in the Discord. Oh, I haven't put it. I'll put a link here. To the Discord thread. So the discussion is happening here, kind of how we go forward. And if any of you guys have ideas on a great rewards distribution system for the ambassador program, the idea is that we'll kind of create what Almond and I were thinking was like I would kind of create what I thought was a good thing. She would create kind of what she thought was a good thing. And then we can bring our ideas all together and see how they can complement one another, or maybe somebody thought of something that somebody else didn't, but it would be nice to maybe kind of brainstorm on our own and then bring the ideas to the table and see how they all work together. Did you want to add anything, Almond? Oh, I love your faces. Pardon.
No, I think that exactly that's the idea, just to try to make the brainstorm regarding rewards a little bit more organized. So I'm going to create one Notion in the Notion that we already have, just a new section regarding rewards, so that we can all start putting and working hands-on there, and then we can get together for discuss everything and just define final details. So I'll ping you when this Notion is ready.
Perfect. Okay, and then as far as the other topics on the agenda, with 1 minute left, it looks like maybe the project survey. I saw the tweet went out for it. Were you able to tell if there was any replies, Claire?
Yeah, there's been quite a lot of good feedback actually. We've had 34 replies so far, which is pretty good because I've been tied up with other comm stuff and the Turkey Syria earthquake fundraiser a lot this last week. So I haven't done so much follow-up as I'd intended, but there's some really useful qualitative feedback in there as well about, recommendations for what Giveth could do better, things that people have found challenging, where they'd like more support. So it's going to be interesting going through what we've received. And hopefully this week I'll get around to following up and getting a few more respondents back.
That's really good. I mean, it was just yesterday, right? It went out, I think. So that's great.
Last Wednesday. It's been out a week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it does go fast, doesn't it? All right. Well, thanks for coming, you guys, and I'll see you in comms. Good to see you. Sorry that we're right up there. So let's get over there. Anyway, have a good day.
Well done.
Thanks,
Thank
Ashley.
you.
See you soon.
30 seconds.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ashley.